Hello, my name is Linda Young and I am a member of the School Liaison team here at TU Dublin. I'm joined today by my colleague Heidi Kelly Hogan. Heidi is our retention officer here at TU Dublin. Heidi works with the admissions team for students coming into college, and also she manages a lot of the students at risk of leaving here. It's great to get some insight from somebody who has all of that experience. So Heidi, today you're going to talk to us about your top tips for students coming to college, and also about when they get in, what's the best thing for them to do. So maybe if you just want to start off there first, please.
Yeah, look, it's really good like to get this opportunity to get this information across because I work in retention and I see students who are kind of at risk of withdrawal. So it's great to be able to get this information across. But I find that students, my main tip is to make a plan, and
Okay.
usually, like I think the length of the semester can take students by surprise. The semesters are quite short. Like when you're in school, like you're kind of in from late August, like right up to Christmas. But
Mhm.
we're much shorter in college, like with 13 teaching weeks on either side of Christmas. And because that's quite short, suddenly like exams are upon you and all your assessments are upon you. So I think it's a good idea just to like map that all out like really early on. So you've made your plan, you know all your deadlines when they're coming, and you can see when there's going to be pressure points. So
Okay.
you see around like Halloween, there's going to be loads of stuff. So just kind of plan well ahead. And this stuff always takes way, way longer than you think.
True.
So yeah, like you're just, yeah, suddenly you've got like 1,000 words and you think that's grand. But when you come to like writing it, you're like, oh, there's so much more information I need to gather to get my 1,000 words together.
Yeah. So what you're saying, Heidi, is really for students coming into college, it's not like the Leaving Cert experience where you have kind of 2 years to work away to get to one exam. You really need to hit the ground running. You really need, on the first day of college, as well as enjoying everything else that goes on, you need to sit down with your timetable, make a plan, and then as you're handed your assignments, you really need to put a schedule in place to get them done. Would that be right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, like you're right, Linda, like that whole 2 years of the senior cycle leading up to one big exam, and then suddenly like you're in September and your big exam is in December of the same year.
Yeah.
So it's really just about being aware of that. And that like leads me into my next tip, which is knowing how the assessment works at college.
Okay.
So in school, like you're given the prescribed Leaving Cert syllabus, and you've seen the years and years of content that's come before, and you've done like plenty of exams yourself, like throughout school, but they generally don't hold you back from progressing. So if you fail something in fifth year, you can just keep going into sixth year, but that's not the case in college, and that definitely takes students by surprise as well, just that they haven't actually taken it in. So you need to like say you don't do well in one subject at Christmas time and you fail it, you cannot progress into second year. So
Okay.
what's going to happen then is you're going to come back in August, and like in August you might be away for the summer or doing something fun or whatever, and then suddenly you've to come back and sit this exam that you really haven't been thinking about for the summer.
Mhm.
So it's just kind of harder to do it.
Yeah.
But also like the content for exams is formed like from your lecturer is your examiner this time.
Yeah.
So like yeah, so it's the benefits really of being in class, getting all the content from the lecturer that's really, really going to help you like get over the line.
And I understand that there's a lot of studies out there that show a direct correlation between actually attending your class and success in college. Would I be correct there?
Yeah, it's huge amount there on actually like this the more students come to class, the more likely it is to pass. The more likely they are to pass.
And I
And
think it's a bit of a change for students getting used to the way they're examined. I mean, yes, they have exams, but they'll also have group projects, and they'll also have, you know, different things that they need to do other than just an exam. So I think it's a lot of getting used to, particularly in first year for students.
like absolutely, like you'll be expected to work with people as well, and that can be new. And when that's being assessed as well, you need to overcome the challenges of that. So there's just a lot of new stuff there for students to learn in first year. And that's like why we do a lot of work with first years and kind of helping them get over the line. And usually by second year, students are very used to it and they know what to expect. So
exactly.
So yeah, like that kind of follows on to my next tip, which is going to class. And because you're in class so often, you're generally being up to date with your readings and everything. So when it comes to the assignment time, you actually have a bit of content that you're able to like write into, and you're confident that you know the coursework. Also, like the discussion and interaction in class is also going to form part of your exam and assessment content. So it's so important to be there. So if you miss like a few weeks, it gets harder and harder to come back then.
Yeah.
Really, really hard. And students kind of get nervous then. They think, oh, I haven't been at this class now for 3 weeks and I'm kind of gonna, get in trouble for it. You're not going to get in trouble for it. You just need to go, right, I need to get back into this. I need to catch up.
And I think our lecturers really appreciate that, Heidi, if the students are honest with them and say, look, I've had an issue, I haven't been at class, but I'm here now and I want to catch up, and they'll give them assistance where they can.
Yeah, absolutely. You're like, honesty is the best policy always. So just like when going down that road, just go, right, I need to kind of like nip this in the bud now and get sorted. And you can get help from your peers as well and just kind of like catching up. So yeah, no, this is another great tip, is like joining clubs and societies to meet people. So just like to meet people with similar interests, and really good break away from your coursework to be able to do something outside of your academic work, and just kind of relax, meet people. Even if you meet people in the clubs and societies and like, you're not mad about them, maybe you meet people through them. Like it's like it's really just right your network, more people to know,
I think it's great actually when you go to college that not only do you get to know the people that are in your class from a day to day, but you also get to join a club and society and meet a lot of people that are really interested in the same things you're interested in. And I know that a lot of people have friends for life from college, just because they've met people that have similar interests to them. And I think it really helps people settle into college as well, Heidi, and makes them feel part of college and makes them want to stay as well. So I think that's a really good advice.
Absolutely. Like making friends is key. Like those students are really like your peers are really going to help you get across the line. Like I remember being in college in like the first semester and going, oh, this is just too difficult for me. It's just too hard. I think I'm going to leave. But I was actually just really enjoying the experience. I was really enjoying my friends, and I kind of thought, I just don't want to leave this. I'm having such a good time. I don't want to leave this. So like just getting through that first year, and then like you'll know so much more in second year. You'll know how to deal with it. So
yeah, and it's such a big change for students. I think that they're coming from school and even down to not having to wear a uniform. I mean, all of a sudden you're in your own clothes every day, and your own clothes are kind of your identity. And when you're in a school uniform, that everybody's wearing the same thing, and even down to little things like that, I think can be a little bit nerve-wracking for students. What should I wear? Is it going to be okay if I wear this? And is it okay to be myself? Now, I think students kind of feel comfortable quite soon when they go to college and they realize that everybody is themselves, and this is how they get on. But what you've said there is really important. The whole social aspect and just having those friends are so important for keeping you like enjoying the whole experience. And once you enjoy the experience, you will stay and complete it.
Yeah, and I just like thought there as well that the role that parents play in secondary school like is quite strong and quite influential, and they're really, really in the secondary school life. And then in college, like they kind of step back a little bit, and that can be challenging for students because parents don't really know the schedule anymore. So there's suddenly like so much more freedom for students, and the parents don't tend to know what the timetable is, and that could be a challenge as well, is that you're more like out on your own and you're managing your own time and things like that. So that definitely comes up as well. So just to be aware of it.
And it is a learning curve there as well, Heidi. I think, they're young adults by the time you're a young adult by the time you come to college. And I suppose the responsibility is now with you. It's not, you're not at school anymore. If you don't turn up for your classes, you know, the lecture's not really going to say anything to you. And, it's really up to you. And that's a big change for a lot of people. I suppose there's a little bit of discipline forming there and a little bit of resilience needed to kind of get through that.
Yeah, definitely. And just like, you can share that with your friends as well, like, because everyone's going to be going through the same thing.
Mhm.
Well, so I suppose like the main thing is to just try and keep on track, and just to be aware that like those assessments are so important, and not to let them slip, and to
Yeah.
not your class attendance slip, because all that is going to help you get through. And once you get through first year, just like I said, it's going to be easier because you're going to know more.
Exactly, exactly. Well, listen, Heidi, I think those tips are absolutely fantastic, and I think that they will be very well received by lots of prospective students. So thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
Cheers.